Okay, now I'm doing this KA question again. And it usually I really like KA question because it's funny. Okay, so, what would you say if you could choose one superpower ability to be and why? Um, Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I probably will you probably be alone with the rest of your life, or always be surrounded by knowing people?
Just stop hearing. I wonder what age that is. You simply ageless without
If you always improve one of your sense, what will you choose?
from Canada. I was tired of playing my cholesterol.
What is the worst in your body? Red meat. What is the worst in your body? Red meat or processed cloud? None of them. This is hardest question. How many penny will you fit into the room? A lot. What is the best excuse me will you put over the spin? I don't know what I mean. What is one favorite topping of pizza? Veggie um spinach and farfalle on pizza. So I like to get to know me, to ask me easy question, not no hard question. Cause you give me a hard question, I don't understand what this means. Stop. I don't understand the hard question, so that's what I wish I could think about. If I have married to one of your friend, Kurt in the room, would it be to it's an interesting question. I really know who I'm married to because if I choose the one I'm married to, it would be in the room. Interesting question. It was. I don't know. It's not gonna be chill because I can't mail with somebody right now. I can't even mail right now because it's against the policy. How old were you when you got your first kiss? I never got my first kiss. Never. I never have. I never been kissed before, so never. I think I remember, but I don't know. I don't never have kissed before. I never. Have you chose to see anything in the world except money if other things would you choose? I don't know. What is your favorite type of smell? Pizza and onions. People sticking on pit and then watch them put it on pit. Sex. Male prostitution. Stripper. Stinking cologne. If you complete the stranger and touch you, ask you what advice you extra advice we if you complete the screening women test you and ask your advice, will you give it or not apply? I would not apply. It got something crazy stuff like negative stuff. I would not apply because it's not me. It's not me who I am as a person, and wouldn't apply. That's why I would. If the Hollywood meet you Rudy about your life, who will you see to play your way word as you? How? Because I don't know at this point because they had to find somebody outside of the streets or somebody with society who talk like me, who talk like me, who's more light skinned, light brown complexion, because because I was born well, like so you can say what my face was because I wash my face, I take a bath, and I take all that kind of stuff. So it was somebody that had to be very have the accent. They had to have somebody accent who has I don't know, it's a thick accent or just from that. I mean, it had to be somebody that talk like high pitched voice. Maybe they have deep voice real life boys like that, but they have to have a high pitched voice because I have a high pitched voice. So with each of them, by Hollywood me by my life, it was somebody I don't know in Hollywood. I don't know nobody in Hollywood don't know like me, Black Hollywood or biracial. It had to be biracial people, biracial boys look like me with a different way, who talk like me, sort of. So he had to pick biracial boy. Like me, if you was if you reverse the burgundy, you don't steal. Given, but you still giving cause your victim suffer what you to do give them, what you give them. I give them that lock your door, lock the door, make sure everything locked and it's locked. Don't answer this burgundy because burgundy could break some kind of way because they want the money. They want a freaking money. People steal every day, breaking people's house every day. You don't know what you live, and you got a gun to kill you because you on their way. You stop them, and burgundy is out there. I'm telling you, they're out there trying to do harm to you, and then trying to harm to you. It just you have to not be home and they come break your stuff. It's a scary stuff. You know, my uncle's living that if we get in the house like that, my uncle live in the house and it would break in, he would be dead. So it was a very crazy moment that people breaking people's house on their surrounding it's in the house. If you gave I'm not answering that. That's weird.
You're not gonna tell me the truth. I'm trying to figure things out. Why don't you figure this out? He hits you, you leave. And anything else is a choice. It's your choice.
What is the popular movie that you love and praise about? I'm not answering that. What's the funny person you know and why? Maybe fun person. Let's see. What if you would choose to make a first contact with alien? How would you do? Not I don't know what answer that. If you live in one if you one year's life over again, which do you choose? I don't know. I'm not answering that. Um,
Where do you think she's now? I think she's at home with that boyfriend of hers. She was gonna go back.
what do you hate? I hate
But now she's
that. Um, what do you hate? I hate that. People knowing me sometimes. I hate that. Um,
Hey, you better like the street, huh?
we live in a society hates. Oh yeah, we can't even go to the interstate because they shoot a line and people shoot people and why the car doesn't know what color you are, what color you are, and they shoot people as well. So my last time my mother went around in the state because they go around and shoot cars and stuff, and it sucks. It's really crazy in that life. What kind of funny and best and most embarrassing things that happened to you in no job interview? Nothing happened. It's all the same. Seriously. Um, if you greet everyone create some way, shape, and form, how do you create? I don't know how to create things. I'm not a great person. Um,
Next meeting's at 6. You came in back.
which teacher you give you a lot of compliment for other when you wear it.
Listen to me, something is wrong.
The word no.
Fallout. What's the manager counts?
Which animal best care for the zoo? I was zookeeper. Um, what is the worst down in the death, burning to the burning death? Never eat ice cream again. Very interesting question. Say what worse down to the death, burn to the death, never eat ice cream again. That's an interesting question. Very interesting question. Where is the worst down to the death and burn to the death, never eat ice cream again? It's just a question. I don't know what does it mean. If you was worse down to the death, drawn to the death, and burned to the death, never eat ice cream again. I don't know. This is crazy shit. It's instant question, business question. Um, what you are paid 10,000 when bus topper? What would you choose and why? I'm not answering that question. If you could go into the shop asking to get gender, what? Yes, no, no. If you have a one superpower, what would it be? Save people were not to get hurt. Um, if on the date, do you feel that the more often like the butter knife? I use butter knife. I use butter. You have power to give other people. Okay. Okay. So if you could learn or perform one magic trick, would it be in my magic trick that if I go to the club and we want other people and if they don't out there they're like, well, yeah, you get there. You know, so that would be my magic trick. Go to the club and like that. So what would be 5 days explores in Disney World or New York City? Disney World. If you could read my a cat and dog, how would you thinking they thoughts and would be different? When you thought about they need to be bathed, need to be washed, need to be colored, those would probably say. If what is the key making a perfect pizza? What is the key in make a perfect pizza? Perfect pizza be lots of veggie pizza, lots of veggie. Because I'm a vegan, so I had to it had to be vegan, gluten free, 100%. If not, I can't eat no fat food. I just can't. I tried and not working for me. Will you father eat spider or swim with a shark? I don't do either. I don't eat shark. I don't eat spider. I don't swim with a shark. I don't go both. I don't eat them. If you could ask a supervisor to provide a training, I suppose it would be she, he, you could just it'd be he because I wasn't published at the time, and this guy named um this Michael and then I don't know named Mark I don't know Nick, yeah, his name Nicholas and then Michael, but Michael was so weird understand me, so I go to the simple supervisor and he was really funny because the other supervisor was tall with when he called his handlers, but he was real serious and he was looking crazy when they had his Nicholas supervisor. I like, yeah, he's so funny guys I could work with and everything else, and then all that. I was I would say if I asked the last supervisor what the training is to the different stuff, how to start stuff. If you have to choose between sense and of your smile, or your smartphone, what you pick? I put I put sense smile because I love to smell something. I don't put smartphone. If you would, if whatever would you want to be, genius, I want to be genius of everything I want to be like that. So it would be best I think for me. Um, if you have to choose a famous person to be your mom, your dad, who will you be choosing and why? Oh, it's just a question. I would choose be my mom is I would choose who I would choose. I definitely choose I don't even know the person's name, but It's just a question. I can't say that who, if I choose a favorite person to be your mom, your dad, who who would you choose and why? Um, see, I definitely choose. Um, I don't even know. This is a hard ass question. If you, mm, what one gift you would want for the person next to you? Um, care to love each other and have a love at heart. What is the worst breakup story? What's the worst what is the worst breakup story you heard? Breakup story heard that Emma has passed away, died, age 27 years old. That was the breakup story. I was a fan in my house that time, and if I choose to be my mom, it's be in my house with my mom. If I choose to be my dad, it would be uh, oh, it'd be somewhere else to me. But it was the worst breakup story because I really sat in my house, and I watched all her interview and I watched her two her Frank and Back to Black Albert, and she was the best story. That was the worst breakup story that I ever heard. Because I was a fan of Amy Winehouse, and then all that people wasn't taking it serious for some time, and they were like, who care about because I was seeing disturbing thing Mr. Hoffman, Mr. Carl Hoffman, and he was saying like what makes sense to what makes sense to um what makes sense to um care about Eva House. She was on drugs, this and that. And people talk good about you, like you're a good singer, you're a jazz, you're a good R&B singer and soul music. But when they talk down about you, what you're doing something, they put that oh she's doing drugs. People's like every time they see famous people they're doing, people either quit to judge people. I don't. It was a biggest part of Burger started about Amy Winehouse about people thought she was doing cocaine and drugs, and they found out it was a drinking problem. It was an alcohol poisoning that she was drinking by accident. It's take her out, okay? Let's get that straight. So the fact that people thought wow, and they thought wow, because she was never was a drug addict. If she was on drugs, she was on what Joe was on Blade. Blade was on drugs. I mean, he's still on drugs. I don't know for sure because his teeth so fucking messed up, and he had teeth done shit like that. It's so messed, so nasty. But if I would say that she was on drugs, she never was on drugs at all. She was clean. She was all that kind of stuff. So, people just thought, wow, she has some problem that she going through and stuff, and so disease that she was going through, had problems. She was smoking cigarettes, she was drinking, but yeah, that was the breakup story most in my life, and on July 23rd, 2011, she was 27 years old, died at a young age, and went to a 27 club that she went to. But I don't think there was a 27 club for her. It's just, I just can't believe she just died at such an age and to die at a young age and to not see her life. And, she said that she was making her next album that she was making, and the third album she was making. And she was like, I was making I'm making a third album and it coming soon, blah blah blah, this and that, different sound, but they never she never find never it. But people like whoever the producer is, the record labels, the song that she did, something that she did, her old music. It was not her new song. She was coming up with a new song, and then that wasn't never gonna happen. So I was a fan in my house for a long time, and that was the best icon for her. She was, that song like, you know, I know good about we tell people like, you mention somebody that I treat myself, I put myself, this and that was go reference to Chastity Quitter, which you don't know her. She was, that was not my worst breakup or worst person. It was a part that too, but whatever. So yeah, um, how do you meet friends? I really don't know how to make friends because if I was making friends, then the whole thing be different and stuff. If it how to make friends, I don't know how to make friends. What one app you use a lot most people don't know about? I use VPop Me. I use Discord. Them two Discord and VPop Me is a service the just doing now to worship it and get paid. That was all about that. I like to verse my pen and get paid. I like to do this and I do that. Everything I want to do, I like to verse my pen and this, I like to verse my pen and that, and that's what I like to do. VPop Me as well. What I like to do. That's what I do. What will you follow all in your brain and not go down? Um, well, so the boss company work, what changes do you make? I don't know. Let's get that.
Is it a plausible story yet? It's not hard to figure. No guns allowed. Things got hot. They went full cage match. Everyone died.
What motto? I don't know what I mean.
Seriously, hope surprise move the meeting.
What pulse up to this?
Took out the gangbangers first. Most likely to fight back.
Will you follow?
Or gang members though.
Was the freshman years and women spent on like? I never been in college before, so I never have a roommate.
Who was afraid of
Oh
that?
yeah, I can take it back. Yeah, I think it was a roommate. Yeah, when I was in Special Olympic at the time, I was in high school at the time. I went to Tampa, Florida at the time, and the roommate I had is Sean. Yeah, Sean. He was my roommate, and I never that were closer. Like I'm in the bed next to him, and my own guy, but hold on, Sean, and I didn't even see. I was sick that time, so I was like in the room, in the bed, like this, like that. I don't know what motel we was, but we was in the motel at that time, so it was crazy. But he was super like, oh, sorry.
Now works for me. Thanks.
But yeah, about him, it was a one night stand. It was a one night. We was in the room. He was in the room. I was in the room, and I was sleeping that time. I was sleeping, but
No idea what breakfast is.
other than that, I was sleeping. So,
And he what?
but,
Wandered into a gang and summoned back.
that's
I honestly have no idea. Well, some idea.
if you acquire some, so, what's the best type of cheese? Vegan cheese. Um, what's the first thing that come in your mind when you heard here Bill? What the first thing come in your mind when you hear here Bill? Um, I don't know what I mean, but I would know something was wasted. Um, what's the most hippie opinion you have? Hippie, if it's like in 1970, when hippie was like people don't have to do their hair that much and be hippie and not do your hair that much and you be like being like peace. It's like peace. Hippie is peace. And my opinion is, what's the most hippie opinion you have? I just think whole thing would be different. Take pride of yourself, and um, let's see. You could choose to be a star in the movie. What gender what it is and what we be. If you reverse the burgundy so that you steal, what's causing you to? I'm not answering that. That's a small question. Um, The rule of three states. Who your first question? Nobody. What's some way to get someone number without speaking? I ain't getting my number without speaking. What is stereotype do you break? I don't know. I don't know about that. Will you find opposite sex in order to you? Just a last question. Um. Okay. Um. By the law, everyone had picked a new name. What will you be? Be myself.
They say at a certain age, you just stop caring. I wonder what age that is. You simply ageless.